I'm Cassie with Shape of the City. Dog bites around Lincoln have been on the rise over the past few years. In fact, we've had an increase. From 2017, there were 335 humans that were bit by dog bites to, in 2019, that number coming to 440. Today, we're going to learn about some of the reasons dog bites happen and what we can do to prevent them. So I'll be talking with Damon, an animal control officer from the Lincoln-Lancaster County Health Department, and Shelby, one of the director of operations at the Pylock Adoption Center, and she also holds a degree in animal science. Thank you for being with us today. So, do most animal bites happen in the home or on the trails? Like, where would you say they most occur?
What we've noticed that most dog bites take place either in the home or around the neighborhood where the dog lives. Also, during warmer weather, we see more bites on trails and more out in the public than we do in colder months.
And so for you, Shelby, what might cause a dog to bite a child or an adult? Are there certain things that might provoke that bite to happen?
Yeah, so all dogs have the potential to bite. In my experience, it's situations where the dog might be unsupervised with a small child, and that small child just can't pick up on the body language signs. Or maybe it's an unattended dog that is loose in the neighborhood because the owner wasn't paying close enough attention. Dogs can bite for a number of reasons, including fear, aggression, being protective of their belongings. And so paying attention to the body language signs are a really big key. So if people aren't paying attention and they miss those warning signs, that's when bites can happen.
I know a lot of people might think that there's a certain type of dog or size of dog that might be more inclined to bite someone. In your experience, is there a certain type of dog that might bite someone over another type of dog?
Any dog can bite. Of course, larger breed, medium-sized breed dogs tend to do more damage when they bite, but smaller breed dogs, when they bite, also can be serious bites and require medical attention.
I would also say that a big category of dogs that have bite records are the undertrained or undersocialized ones. They just haven't been in those experiences, and so when they don't have training, that can result in bites sometimes.
And so what can we do to prevent a young child from possibly being bit?
Education is key. Education in schools is awesome, but then also educating adults and dog owners. Responsible dog ownership is a huge, important factor in that. Responsible dog ownership leads to less loose dogs running around, more trained dogs who know how to handle different situations, and then also teaching kids about body language. That way they can maybe know the warning signs as well.
Thank you. And so what about a dog that I may be familiar with?
Yeah, we encourage people to approach strange dogs and familiar dogs in the same manner. So kind of taking your fist and making it like this, and then just kind of letting the dog sniff you. And then reaching towards the side of the neck and petting them. We never want to reach over the dog's head because that can be intimidating. And you never want to reach out and hug a dog either, whether it's one you know or one you is unfamiliar to you. That can be pretty intimidating to a dog as well. If he were scared of me, I would have turned my body to the side a little bit and just made myself appear a little smaller, but I'm also going to let him lead the interaction. He's also leaning into me for more attention, but if he were to walk away, I would just stop my interaction with him. So one thing we also want to do is just keep in mind body language with dealing with animals. So with dogs, if they're licking their lips a lot, it can be a sign of nervousness. If they have really big eyes, that's called a whale eye. It can also be a sign of uneasiness, nervousness, shyness. And so when dogs are displaying those behaviors, it is best to just give them some space. One thing with kids we also want to encourage is that an adult is present at all times. Kids cannot pick up on those body language signs, so anytime kids and dogs are together, adults need to be present to monitor for those body language signs. Kids don't quite understand that dogs don't like hugs.
Thank you so much for these tips today, and I think there's something that anyone that's around a dog can use.
Dog father, it's my dog. He's a good dog. I take him out in the front yard, he minds his own business, but sometimes he sees something and he's running off. What can I do?
I see that you're a reasonable man. I tell you this, any dog, even a good dog, can get excited and run off. I'll make you an offer you can't refuse. Anytime your pet is not fenced in, you must leash him.
I'll do that, dog father.
Listen to the dog father. Leash your pet.
Hi, I'm Officer Williams from Lincoln Animal Control, and this is Joey. City ordinance requires you to vaccinate your pets at 3 months and license your pets at 6 months. Please make sure you vaccinate and license all pets.
As a human, you take your kids in to get their shots, and I make sure he has his shots just because it would kill me if anything happened to him.
Just kind of promotes the healthy, canine-friendly community that we live in. Isn't that right, Giz?
Hello, I'm Melissa Fuller with Shape of the City. Today we are at Sampson Construction, and we are with Dave Minarick with Nebraska Sports Council and Travis Lucas with Sampson Construction, and we're going to be talking about this year's corporate games, the Nebraska Corporate Games. Hi, Dave.
Hi.
Hi, Travis.
Hello.
Hey. Can you tell us a little bit about the corporate games and how long have they been around?
Well, the Nebraska Sports Council's biggest event is the Cornhusker State Games. So if you take it and look at it from that perspective, you can say that the corporate games is a mini Cornhusker State Games for company employees of Lincoln companies. So we started the corporate games 3 years ago, actually. So we've had two versions of it. The first year we had 6 sports and there were 9 companies that participated. Last year we had 26 companies participating in 11 different sports. And this year we have 40 registered so far, and we're going to offer them 14 different sports to participate in. And it's a mix of what I would call really highly competitive, physically athletic events and more social events. And I would say the more social events are like cornhole and trivia. On the physically active side, we have a 5K. We have a very competitive volleyball tournament. So there's this mix of things, and that really was the goal, is to offer something that companies might enjoy here in Lincoln, that could provide some team building, some wellness benefits, and also something they could use to really add as a perk when they're out hiring, because it's a tough market out there for employees. So I think this is so far, it's been a really good mix, and the business community here in Lincoln has really supported and I think enjoyed participating in it.
Give me an idea of the size of the teams as well as the size of the companies that generally participate or who are invited to participate.
Last year, our smallest company had 10 employees, and our largest companies are companies with 500 plus employees. And what we do is we divide them into divisions based on the number of employees. So those smaller companies with probably less of a talent pool are generally participating against one another. The amount of people that participate in each sport, I would say it averages about 6 to 7 people. But there are some events that are non-competitive. Companies can get participation points, like our walk event. We have a walk event. We have extra spots, and we give extra points for more people participating in the 5K.
When do these games go on? Give us a window of time, roughly.
It goes really from mid-April through the first week in May. And we've tried to, over the first 2 years, it seemed like we were much more compact with that. And for a lot of reasons, we found that spreading it out just a little bit more is advantageous to the companies, especially those smaller ones where they have a lot of people doing multiple events.
Some recuperation time.
Some recuperation time, and they still have to get a job done, So we're trying to, I guess make it so that it fits more companies and is doable for a smaller company.
Perfect. All right, Travis, what's the impact been with the employees?
Last year was actually our first year in the corporate games, so we're super excited. Sampson Construction, we're always, trying to build our team mentality, but it's good to do stuff outside of work that also builds relationships and things like that are so important with wellness, that social impact. And then also, I was trying to think back of last year about how many people were involved. There was close to about 25 people. Every now and then you'd have somebody having to do multiple events, but that made it fun. We had a good time.
What was the feedback that you received from employees?
Yeah, we had great feedback. In fact, I was surprised the amount of employees who wanted to participate. It's almost like they're looking for something fun to do outside of work. So so it was good to get that camaraderie and have a lot of people interested. And then once they did get involved, they came back to the workplace and talked about it, how much fun they had, and then I think a lot of people wish that they would have been involved. So it wouldn't surprise me if we had more people involved this year.
So for other companies that may be listening to this, what do you see as the benefits for the employees as well as the employers?
Sure. For employees, I think it's a good interaction outside of work. I think getting to know your coworkers is important. And then also for the employers, we're always striving for wellness and keeping our employees healthy. And this is just a good way to kind of imply that we think health is important. You know, employees and employers both, we want to be healthy our whole lives, and this is a good way to promote it in many ways, from events like walking to cornhole. Anybody can do it, you know, all stages of life, regardless of your agility level. So I think we had a good time with that.
How well did you guys do last year?
We're in the smaller team division, so we got second place in that, and then we took home gold medals, silver medals, and we had really good showing in cornhole, frisbee golf. I mean, things that I wouldn't have expected from our team. Pickleball. I mean, we had a blast.
So for both of you, I mean, this is still relatively new games, but what were some of your favorite memories, just personally, that either of you have seen from the games?
I think for me it was the cornhole, just because there was, you know, everybody's kind of bunched into this gym out at I think it was Spikes, if I remember right, and we had 4 or 5 teams. Samson did. I forget what the cap was. Maybe it was 4, but every one of our teams competed, and we had a couple teams make it all the way towards the end. So it was just fun cheering each other on. Fun event, you know, to cheer each other on. And one of our teams, I think, ended up getting second place for that event.
I really get a kick out of when companies see the leaderboard for the first time. So last year's first event was the walk, and some companies, especially the ones who participated the first year, knew that you could rack up a lot of points by having a lot of people there, and there's no limit to the number of people you can have there, and having them start early and just keep walking because you get points for every lap. So the leaderboard comes out after the first night's competition, and there's companies that just maybe had one person show up or none. They didn't think it was an important event, and it hit them that, oh my gosh, we're on this leaderboard and we're clear at the bottom with a 0 by our name. And then the calls started coming to the office going, okay, what's tonight? And and so the engagement there with companies, and it just, you know, it ripples through the whole event. And I mean, that's my favorite part of my job, is the people enjoying play.
What I love about this is that it's great for employees also, their health, their physical health, their mental health, right? The morale of the company. So there's a lot of perks for everyone involved. If there's a company out there, how do they get involved? What should they do?
The website is necorporategames.com. So that's the best way, is to go click on that. And there's actually, our team has put together a really good guide. There's a guidebook there, and it really takes you from A to Z. And don't wait, because there is a limit. We can accommodate 50 total companies, and so we expect it to fill up. We'd love it to fill up, and that'll give us maybe some impetus to expand a little bit going forward after this year.
Travis, would you like to show your team uniform?
Yes, we were very sporty with our Samson gear, of course with our Samson logo, and then we have Get On Our Level decorative in the back, and we have our scarves that, of course, they can be used in many ways. I think the 5K was pretty cold.
It was
that
cold.
morning, so you know we all needed to bundle up a little bit and get out. So, and then of course the socks. We have so we were sporting a lot of Samson S's with our outfits, and we took home the victory in best outfit category. So we're excited about that.
Perfect. Thank you guys, and good luck.
Thank you.
What if you could add 5 years to your child's life and make your whole family healthier with simple changes? Partnership for Healthy Lincoln wants to help you and your family live longer, healthier lives. It's easier than you think. Take the dog for a walk, play more and text a little less. Swap out a soda for water once a day. Keep fruits and veggies handy for snacking. For more ideas, visit healthylincoln.org.
Hello, my name is Christina Hitz with the Lincoln-Lancaster County Health Department. I'm also a member of the Crusade Against Colon Cancer. March is Colon Cancer Awareness Month. Our message this year is that it's time to fight back. Colon cancer is highly preventable, treatable, and beatable, but it remains the second most common cause of cancer deaths for men and women in Lancaster County. If you are over 50, you should be screened for colon cancer, keeping in mind that if you are at a higher risk, for example, if you have a family history of colon cancer, you should be screened earlier, and you should talk to your doctor about this. The Crusade Against Colon Cancer partners with 34 Lincoln and Lancaster County pharmacies, and we appreciate each of those pharmacies' assistance every year for their help distributing free colon cancer screening kits. And today, I'm at Hy-Vee with Jill.
Thank you, Christina. We've been a partner with the Crusade Against Colon Cancer since 2012. We're excited in 2020 to again partner. Please join us at any of the Hy-Vee pharmacies or any of the participating pharmacies in the Lincoln-Lancaster area. It's time to fight back.
It's time to fight back.
Hi, I'm Cassie with Shape of the City. March is National Nutrition Awareness Month, and I'm here with Nicole Engelbart from WIC to help improve our nutrition knowledge. So Nicole, a lot of people hear the word nutrition and they automatically think maybe that I have to eat salad or that the diet is really restrictive. What are other common misconceptions that you hear when people hear the word nutrition?
So I think the biggest misconception out there is that you hear the word nutrition and you do think that it is in fact restrictive, and it definitely doesn't have to be, nor should it be. When we think of nutrition, we want to make sure that all foods fit, and they do. We just have to be mindful of those portion sizes. A tool that was created by USDA is called My Plate, and it's really a great model to help families show them what their plate should look like. So we want to make sure that half of your plate at times is fruits and vegetables. We have the top corner of grains, and then the bottom corner there is protein, and then making sure that we're including a dairy source at meal times as well.
Yeah, so that My Plate sounds like a really good resource. Now, can you eat healthy on a limited budget?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. So there's a lot of tips and tricks out there to help kind of stretch your food dollars. One of those is trying to cook more meals at home. When we're cooking meals at home, it tends to cost significantly less than if you were to go out to eat, even at like a fast food restaurant. Another thing that we can do is make sure you're shopping the local ads, so looking for things that are on sale, and then trying to purchase more of those in bulk if you can, kind of stock up on some of those sale items. Purchase produce, especially seasonally. Produce kind of gets a bad rap for being really expensive, but it doesn't have to be if you're shopping those ads and then buying what's in season. So for example, right now for March, bananas and avocados, pears, asparagus are just some of the fruits and vegetables that are in season right now. So those should cost less and taste better when they're in season.
So what are simple changes that can be made in order just to make the day a little bit healthier?
Sure. So there's a lot of things that families can do to make some simple swaps to make their foods day to day a little bit healthier. So as far as cooking methods go, trying to bake foods rather than frying foods will help decrease the fat content and ultimately calories. Trying to steam vegetables or steaming rice rather than sauteing things will help, again, decrease those calories. And then there's a few simple swaps with foods that you can make to also increase the nutritional value. So trying to swap out your whole fat dairy for like a 1% or skim choice. So when you're thinking of like whole milk or 2% milk, trying to switch that to a 1% or fat-free skim milk. Same with your yogurts and your cottage cheese. That will help decrease the calories and fat content. Another thing you can do is switch up your refined grains to whole grains. So when we think refined grains, things like white bread, white rice, white pasta, switching those for the whole grain version. So whole wheat breads, whole wheat or whole grain pastas, and then brown rice. So those would be some simple tips to help increase the nutritional value of the foods.
WIC does a lot with mothers and infants, and so can you talk a little bit about the importance of breastfeeding regarding early nutrition?
Absolutely. So breastfeeding, breast milk is the ideal source of nutrition for infants. What WIC does is we really help to educate the mothers on breastfeeding, the importance of that, and why it's the best option for their babies. So what we'd like to talk about with moms is that breast milk is really the perfect amount of fat, carbohydrates, protein, and fluids to help their babies grow optimally, and it's always the right temperature. There's a lot of benefits to breastfeeding as well. So there's benefits for both the baby and for the mother. Some of the benefits of breastfeeding for babies is that there's a reduced risk of asthma, ear infections, reduced risk of obesity later in life, and type 2 diabetes. And then the benefits for mom, you can reduce the risk of certain kinds of cancers, so breast cancer and ovarian cancer. And we know that breast milk, it takes a lot of extra calories for moms to make that milk. So moms who breastfeed tend to lose their baby weight more quickly after delivery than a mother who chooses not to breastfeed.
All right, I guess I've got one more question. Can you give us a fun tip or a really cool recipe that we could try for Nutrition Month this month?
Absolutely. So I have a blueberry avocado smoothie, which I know sounds a little weird, but the avocado, you won't be able to taste it. It makes the smoothie really creamy and delicious. It's very simple, only has 5 ingredients. It calls for a cup of spinach, 2/3 cup frozen blueberries, 1/2 avocado, a tablespoon of flaxseed, and then 1 cup of low-fat or fat-free milk. All you have to do then is blend and serve. So pro tip would be to add a banana to the smoothie. What it'll do is naturally sweeten up the smoothie a little bit and then also provide a really excellent source of potassium.
Wow, that smoothie actually really sounds delicious. I think I'll have to try it myself. Thanks so much for being here today. We really appreciate all this great information.
Thank you, it's my pleasure.
Shape of the City is dedicated to keeping Lincoln informed of health and wellness programs and events. Visit our calendar at lincoln.ne.gov, keyword Wellness Calendar. If you'd like to see your program or event covered, email us at LNKTV Health at lincoln.ne.gov.